unsurpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of aeons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning.
Okay. And today we are at the second part of Sayonara Anger. Basically today what we are talking is the non-duality, the middle way. And this is the ultimate, most important Dharma under all the suttas that the Buddha preached. Okay, finally you still have to come back to the middle way. So I just do very, very short revision of what we learned last lesson, which is on Sayonara Anger. Remember the past bully and cause our inferiority complex in us, right? So what we usually do, because today we are very much onto the anger side, right? So that's why I using middle way to focus on anger. Okay, when we have past bully in our past, maybe childhood or something, so we feel very inferior growing up, maybe being looked down, being bullied, being ill-treated, being unfair by people around us. Okay, so from the samsaric point of view, after that, what we do, usually we try to inflate our ego by getting angry. Okay, because we feel very small after being bullied. We feel very uneasy. So what we do is that we want to blow the ego by using anger, demanding, forcing, and or maybe we instill fear in others, right? So then after that, another way of doing it is through world values. So we chase after all the social ladders. Remember the 5 things that we talk about? We chase after money, we chase after status and position, we chase after beauty and outlook, we chase after ability, efficient and very capable, and finally we chase after good family status. You know, we have a lot of relationship. All these 5 things these are actually the simple 5 ones. I mean, of course there are many layers from there. So from there, we actually try to boost our ego by climbing the social ladder so everybody can see us, right? So at the end of the day, we realize actually that is not the solution, because that's what we discussed last lesson. So we use these 2 ways to inflate the I, right? So inflate the I, but it's disastrous. You remember the chart, the 98%, moving up to the 2%, even though we are at our 2%, at the end of the day, we are still not happy, we are still very angry, and we still have a lot of fear. Looking around, you can check with people who are very rich and successful around us. A lot of times you see they are still not happy, because behind their view, there is one very, very wrong view that nobody actually realizes. Because we are all governed by the ego, right? So as long as you have the idea that a big I is good, then it's disastrous. Okay, the big I, the ego. So at the end of the day, until the Buddha comes, he actually tells us, hey friend, you know, your real culprit, your real enemy is the I behind us, right? So because of this, the dharmic reaction, what do? We try to reposition, right? A lot of times after all the crazy pursuit in life, you start to think. In fact, a lot of rich people who are getting older ones, they start to ask this kind of questions, which I also met a few. What is life all about? Okay, what is life all about? How come I pursue my whole life of everything, sacrificing my whole life of my time and my effort, and at the end of the day, all the people around us ran away, and my relationship all broken, and my health also broken down, and also I'm not happy, you know, but I have a lot of money. So this is the common phrase that they say, I am very poor in everything except money. So I'm very poor in everything except money. So this is very sad, right? So after we reposition, we realize this is actually the ego that is the culprit. We reposition, we try to break our concept. Okay? What concept is that? We are holding a lot of views. Remember the chart, the balloon chart? The I is very big because we are holding a lot of concepts, a lot of views. Okay? So our ego becomes very big because we have a lot of concepts. And all these funny concepts started off not this life. It's been started off since beginningless. We have been holding on certain concepts. Right? And the moment when we break all your concepts, then the ego will fall. You cannot kill the ego direct because the concept still building. Right? That's why a lot of times, if you say, don't be angry lah, don't be angry, you tell the ego to do that, no use one. Because behind all the concepts are still holding the ego up. Okay? So today we're going to go through one by one how we break the concept. When I go through this, you will realize you will tend to fall into the emptiness, the empty part of it. And that's why we will bring you back to non-duality, the middle way. Okay? So this is always the phrase I like to use to break the concept and to kill our ego once and for all. And also to actually vanish our bad karma once and for all. Okay? 最由心起，將心懺. Bad karma arises from the mind and the concepts. From the mind, which is actually our view and our concepts. Therefore, we have to contemplate on our views and our concepts. 心若滅時罪亦亡. If our views and our concepts are eliminated, all our bad karma shall vanish. So what do you want to use? Maybe you want to use, last time I used poverty. Maybe this round I can use, people don't respect me. When people don't respect me, I tend to get angry. My view is that people must respect me. Okay? This is my view that I've been holding so hard, that if you don't respect me, I will get angry. So this one is my view that people have to respect me. Right? So bad karma arises because when they don't respect me, I scold. I scold them and I hurt them. Right? So the bad karma arises from the view that people must respect me. Right? Therefore, we have to contemplate on our views and the concepts. The view and the concept we have to contemplate in this respect is what? Why people must respect me? Why? Okay? You have to contemplate on that one. If our views and concepts are eliminated, if I don't need people to respect me from now onwards because I understand it was only a view that I've been holding on due to the samsaric concepts. Okay? All our bad karma shall vanish. Why? Why vanish? Because all this while, before my awakening, I keep on scolding people because I find people don't respect me. And I hurt. I hurt left, right, center. The way you talk to me, not sensitive enough, I will rebut you, I will hurt you. Right? So all these are bad karma that we create, either in terms of karma debt or karma creditors. Alright? So all this bad karma is actually installed inside our 8th consciousness. When we come back in future, we will be not respected again. Because you scold people, you also don't respect people. Right? So in future, your bad karma is that you will be getting a lot of people don't respect you. You are not worried because your bad karma comes back, but your concepts are already eliminated. So you are not worried people scold you, people don't respect you. Because you don't have the idea that people need to respect me and scolding me is no good. You don't have that concept already. Remember we were sharing about an incident. I went out with a friend. The man was saying, hey, you all don't like girls, you all like men only, you all don't wear skirt. Oh, I said, yeah, is it? But another friend of mine was so angry. Why? Because she still has the view that you cannot talk like that. You are disrespecting us women. If you're holding this concept so hard, anybody just say anything, you feel hurt already. But because to me, I fine with me. You say whatever you want. See, I don't have the concept. This guy, the words that he say is actually disrespectful. Actually, it doesn't hurt me. You see? So when we do not have the concept and the view that these people, that being disrespected, that being scolded is bad, then all the bad karma in future comes upon us will not affect us. That's why it's vanished. Okay? So this one is very powerful. No? From practical, I realize not only our bad karma in future vanish, even in the past, I can one time abolish all my bad karma. You know why? Because with this right view, I realize, all the while people scolded me, people bullied me last time was the reason why today I seek Dharma. Because of the past hurt and past whatever you call it bad karma, today when I know I need this thing to wake up, suddenly I feel very thankful of all my bad karma. So all my bad karma suddenly turn good karma instantaneously because of my concept change overnight, change immediately. You get me or not? So not only your future, your past bad karma are all eradicate. From now onwards, I'm a totally different person. I'm not worried people don't respect me anymore. You know? So, and then 心忘罪滅兩俱空. When both views and concepts and bad karma are eliminated, they become empty. Meaning what, Our bad karma and our views and concept, the Buddha said no. They are all empty. Empty means what? They are not fixed. They are up to you to think only. Because at the end of the day, you realize this whole world we only make real. It's not real one. It's only because you are very hard-headed, very stubborn to capture on a view only, that's all. And this view is actually a lie. Nothing one. Right? So when you realize that bad karma and views and concepts are actually empty, you can fix it and you can see the way how you want to see things only. Okay? So, 是則名為真懺悔. This is the ultimate meaning of repentance. Why repentance? Because from now onwards, I don't mind not being respected. And because of this, I will never shout, talk very loudly, rudely, and make people see I'm here, I'm here. I won't do things like that really because I don't mind you don't respect me. Okay? So you see, this is the real repentance for people who are very angry, who like to talk loudly, scold, demand, command, force, So because I understand, I break my view already, view and concept, the repentance is automatic. Because I don't believe in being respected all the time. It's fine with me. Okay? So this one, that's why this phrase is very important in these two parts. Number one, all my bad karma in future vanish because my view and concept broken. I don't mind when bad karma happen because when bad karma happens, so-called bad karma because I still hold that view. But if I don't hold that view anymore, it's no longer a bad karma. Okay? So all my bad karma vanish and then I will never do things like last time before because my view already eradicated. Okay? So that's why it's very, very powerful. That's why the Buddha said, don't go inside your 8 consciousness there, delete. How long you want to delete? Because all the things that we have done is beginningless one, Correct? So the Buddha said, no, all you need to do is just to change the view and your concept that you have been holding. Everything's still the same. You will still meet with bad people. You will still meet with disaster. You will still meet with accidents. You will still meet with challenges. But it's okay. It's really okay. That's why you look at the life story of the Buddha. He was still being attacked by Devadatta. He will still have to die. He will still have to hurt by all the enemies. It's fine with him. You see? That's how a lotus grows from the mud. We are still in the mud. But we are strong and shining all the time. So because of this thing. Okay? Because we can eradicate actually is the view. At the end of the day, we realize why the view and the concept can be empty, because everything is created by your mind only. So I've been doing research for the past 1-2 months on science. I tell you, it's such a joke that now the scientists are finding it so hard to accept. The scientists are feeling very uneasy and uncomfortable living in their own theories. Meaning what? The theories very openly telling the scientists everything is unreal. And the scientists just cannot accept. So they are feeling very uneasy now. But with quantum mechanics, your handphone, your digital, all your convenience in life, it was due to quantum mechanics. And it was also quantum mechanics telling them everything is not real. So there are 2 schools now. And one school already kind of like accepted. Another group said, why not we just use the theory to invent things? We don't think of the big issue. The big issue, that means what is life all about? Just science not bad, now. Really find out everything is not real. Very close already. They are very close to that. Okay? That one we come to next year or year after next now, because I'm doing it in the Cantonese version now. Okay, all right. So this is very important because this concept can kill everything instantaneously. All right. With this concept, we call the 顿悟法. 顿悟法 means what? You don't slowly realize, wake up. No, this one is like, suddenly you wake up. This one, because inside Buddhism, there are 2 ways of waking up. One is 坚持. 坚持, that means slowly, step by step. Okay, you do chanting, you practice dana, sila, then you learn how to become a good person, you talk properly, that one is slowly. Okay, that one eventually all your karma dirt drop, then you start to have that wisdom to understand, to see things in the ultimate manner. Okay, that one is slowly. That one is 坚持. But 顿悟法 means what? Immediately. You wake up immediately, just on the light like that. Bright already. This is called 顿悟法门. You see things directly to the heart of all ultimate truth. Okay? So in order to implant this into our life, we go through one by one. Okay? Like for example, these are the arising. Okay? And this is what the world says. This is the apparent cessation. And finally, this is what the ultimate cessation promoted by the 顿悟法. Just now we were talking about that repentance phrase. The breaking up of our concept. Okay, for example, this one same. People don't respect us. Worldly world, us, get angry and demand. So apparent cessation. Then people say, hey, don't get angry, get angry, no good. This is bad karma, Ultimate cessation, break the concept of must be respected. Okay, a lot of people ask me how to break concept like that. Because they say, hey, talk easy lah. How to break? Must do some work, okay? But this work is, at least, is very direct, very ultimate. You go inside all the situations that you are fearful most. Like for example, when people don't respect us, we feel uncomfortable. Okay, inside that being disrespected environment, you reposition. You reposition when people talk loudly to you, you must reposition. You don't react according to your emotion. That means you drop into the story already. So the moment you reposition and you saw yourself, your anger coming out, then you ask yourself, this not being respected, is it so terrible? You immediately feel the moment once you reposition, you are not so angry one. And you realize the being disrespected one is not so terrible as what you thought. From there you realize actually you are being cheated by your concept only. You have to practice this at that moment, the place that you fall, you have to pick yourself up from the same place. So it's the same for all this situation. For example, another one. People don't acknowledge, or I myself don't acknowledge myself. Nobody say I'm good. When I did something, I thought I'm good, nobody appreciate, nobody say I'm good, right? So a lot of people said, Worley, try harder to prove. Try harder lah. Try lah. Okay? That's why all of us are going into depression, right? Just to ask for people's recognition and approval and appreciation, right? So apparent cessation. A lot of times you hear your friend tell you, or you go to a temple, people say, hey, let go, be yourself. Don't be affected by how people judge us. Be kind to ourselves, Fine, you can still do this, but don't forget, doing this means, what? Behind, you're still holding the view, I want people to recognize me. Okay? But if, let's say, the final thing is to break the concept of being wanted to be acknowledged. Actually, this being wanting to be acknowledged is actually an inferior inside us, It's a past hurt. And when you realize this one, it actually 50% of the problem gone. Another 50% go inside there, feel when people don't appreciate, people don't acknowledge. Actually, why should they? They have a right one. Correct or not? People don't respect us, don't acknowledge us. It's really okay. Because sometimes when other people want respect or want acknowledgement, we also don't give. Don't say every time we want. Correct or not? And when we want, we all suffer. Okay? Because sometimes people don't give, not that they are very bad, they themselves are actually very dry, very thirsty for all this also, In fact, they are, You look at your spouse, your children, all of them also are you dying for recognition and, dying for attention. Someone want to give you attention, never mind lah, huh? Because this one at least I can control. I say no need. Okay? People don't follow my way or don't listen to me. Especially people very angry one. These are the three main criteria for people who are very angry usually. So when children, when husband or wife don't follow what I say, we get very angry. So the word said, angry and forced. I ask you to listen to me, okay? Or this one. Or maybe try to convince and make our points very clear. Write down advantages, disadvantages, talk to them, analyze. Actually, very tiring. When people don't want to listen that time, no matter what you say, whatever facts you have, because the ego is hurt already, people just don't listen. Okay? So, apparent cessation. Let go, be easy, be liberal. Okay? Yeah, this is what we usually say. Apparent cessation, a lot lah. You look at all the motivational books, all also tell you this one. But it won't last. Why? Because the concept is still so hard that we want to be respected, we want to be acknowledged, we want people to listen to me. So finally, ultimate is just to break away the concept of following my way and listening to me. This one is very, very important. Remember, while breaking away, go back into a situation when people don't follow you, follow our instruction, and we start to see our anger coming up. Then you quickly reposition and look at yourself, You realize people don't follow us. There are few things we can talk about. Number one, why should they follow? Then you will say, sure lah, they must follow because I know what. If they don't follow, they sure fall. Then let them fall lah. Hey, how can we take away the learning of that person who wants to learn? We cannot be so selfish. Okay, I say already you don't want to follow, then never mind lah, because that person want to fall. So let him or let her fall. Then I have to pick up the pieces. No need. Let the person who fall to face the consequences. That is their learning. Remember the butterfly, the cocoon story? Actually, butterfly when coming out from the cocoon, they have to squeeze out from the cocoon one, then only fly, right? So there was this boy who saw the pupa actually suffering because very hard to push out. So the small boy saw, he said, hey, kaka, I help you. So open up the cocoon for the pupa. Die lah. So the pupa came out as butterfly, fly a short distance, drop and die. Cannot hunt for food. Why? Because during this process of pushing himself out from the cocoon, actually he is trying to squeeze out all the blood into the vein of the wing. That is how the wing can support himself and fly. It is nature telling us things, that, even an insect, you need this suffering to be able to grow big, so that you can survive. So we all parents like the small boy, yeah. Okay, I help. Everything you help, die lah. When you grow up at the time, I'm very scared.
This is the character help me out on taking the example as being a parents, we are always protecting how we actually bring the ultimate decision.
This one you got to do OCMI, the OCMI. You go and see for yourself. A lot of parents who go and intervene and help. You look at their children and you look at yourself. No need to look. I do the OCMI for you already. Number 1, relationship broken. Because they don't like. Because we keep wanting to put our hands in whatever they do. Number 2, they don't learn anything if you solve the problem for them. Number 3, we are dead tired. There are 3 disadvantages which are very major disadvantages. They don't learn anything. We are very, very tired. And at the end of the day, the relationship broken. What for? Okay, let's say I let go. Okay, these are all actually from the OCMI, the investigation. You see for yourself. When we let go, okay, you go and face your challenges. I will tell you only one phrase. You do this, you will get this. You just beware, that's all. And then I walk away. It's not that I don't want to help. I want you to try it yourself. But I'll give you a piece of advice. But sometimes I find the men are better in this day area. The men will only say like that and then they move on. It's the women, the mother, don't want the children to suffer. Okay? And then before I wait, and then you look properly, because you are 5 PAT practitioners, you look properly, your intention, why you don't want your children to suffer. Actually, it's actually selfishness. Because when we see they suffer, we suffer. We don't want the suffering. You get me or not? Actually, they suffer, we suffer. So we want to help in the name of I don't want them to suffer. Actually, I don't want the suffering. Because we cannot tahan to see them suffer. We suffer. You get me or not? So you see, very tricky one, the ego. Correct? So because of that, so we let go. Sorry.
So this is what I'm trying to practice with my children. I try to give them advice.
Yes.
It's like, if you do this, then what will happen? But then the thing is, my husband said, no, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be holding their hands, guiding them. So he will say that, what kind of mother are you? So how should I face this kind of situation?
Give them a 5 PAT this. So usually what I do is that I'll sit down or explain to them. When I do OCMI that time, you do with your husband. You see, what is the good when we are so intervening in the growing of the child when they are entitled their own learning one, We are actually barring them from learning. We are very selfish. So you make them see the point. Then you slowly make everybody see, the way you are seeing things. To me, I feel as long as it's not life-threatening, let them. Fail lah. Mistake lah. It's more important to make them learn how to meet their failure, to accept their failure. That one is more important than to score very high lah, do very well lah. That one you don't know how to handle failure. If you want to work with Microsoft, those days they said under Bill Gates that time, when he interviewed all the higher level management, if you are doing very well, he doesn't want you. But if you fail before and you climb back, then you qualify. They only want people who failed before and know how to handle their failure. This is the real independent people. Remember the lesson we learned? So that's why it's very important we have to let go. So actually, when every time come to this kind of area, a lot of parents are very, very confused. Don't worry lah, let them fail, because you need to teach them how to break concept. Because the school already giving them a lot of wrong concept. Cannot make mistake, cannot fail, must be in front, must do well, and the parents and all the friends also giving them that kind of concept, That's why you want to talk about our whole education system, even the whole world now actually is breaking down already. It's actually a failure, One country started out something very different. I think Finland. They are doing something very different from the conventional education system, whereby children go to school only 1 week, 2 times, and then they go there and play. That's all. No homework at all until to their teens, So they find that the children still can maintain their creativity, their motivation nature, their curiosity, and their intelligence. Now our children all this gone except one thing: follow rules, follow instructions only, and follow what the world says. That's all. So being bombarded with all the concepts and views. So this is something very sad That's why our children, don't worry, let them fall, let them fail. So where is the line Sometimes we have to use our intelligence. That's why we do what? The middle way. The middle way is very, very important. Not only at home, even in corporate world, you use the middle way. What the Buddha talk about the middle way is very, very profound. Okay, we Theravada, especially Theravada, they thought middle way is you don't meditate to Tanga, you don't enjoy yourself in the worldly world. Okay, you have to be middle, correct or not? This is Theravada, right? Or maybe you remember the string. When you play the string, if it's too hard, the sound cannot come out. If it's too soft, the sound also cannot come out. So you have to be in the middle. So actually, when the Buddha talk about the middle way, it's actually happening all the time in our life. For example, just now you come for this class. What time you come out? You don't come out 6 o'clock, right? You don't come here starting from your house 9 o'clock, right? Let's say if you stay in Shah Alam, right? So you have to find a time which is actually in the middle. You come here just nice. This is also middle way. But in life, there are so many middle way situations, like teaching the children, where is the middle way? Is it overboard, or is it don't care, or too much of intervention? So the Buddha said, everything go in the middle way. And the middle way needs a lot of research and investigation. That's why the Buddhism, under Buddhism, is actually very, very dynamic one. Okay? So that one we come to the later classes. But today we finish the breaking concept. Okay? So just now the one is the arising of all the angry people. Now we go into bad karma. Right? For example, the 5 pursuits of life. So one by one, we just quickly go through. Poverty. Worldly world say, work hard, save a lot of money. Apparent cessation, do dana, be generous. Ultimate cessation, you have to break the concept of being poor is bad. Not say poor, being insufficient is bad. When insufficient, we start to be thrifty, we start to be simple. I think that is a very good virtue. But when you have too much abundance, you don't know how to appreciate. It's so difficult for rich people to raise children compared to poor people. Because rich people, you don't give. You yourself driving big car. How? So you have to give something big also to them. And when they got big, they cannot handle because they're too young. You see? So a lot of times the parents also in dilemma, especially rich parents. Okay, so that's why poverty, if we can break the concept of being poor, being insufficient, is not bad, then we are not afraid of being poor in future. Right? So in future, all the bad karma of being poor coming back to us is no longer a bad karma, because actually I want to be mediocre. Just like what Jack Ma said, he wants to be mediocre. If he knows he will end up today like that. And in the future, I will not do anything that hurt others. This is real repentance. Why? Because I will not do anything to hurt others by grabbing, seizing, fighting, competing just for the money itself. Okay? That's why it's real repentance. Right? Because you already break the concept. Okay? Next, low status in life. No power, no fame. Worldly will say, work hard, buy branded, mix with high flyers, So you work hard, you climb the social ladders, be famous or whatever. Apparent cessation, practice good speech, cultivate universal good values, have leadership, courage. All these are apparent cessation. However, the real thing, what the Buddha tell you is, break the concept of having status is very important. When you break this concept, okay, you actually save a lot of your work, save a lot of all the fighting and chasing after. Okay, so this is low status in life. Then next we have not beautiful, very mediocre. World say plastic surgery, okay, branded clothing, slimming, makeup, So apparent cessation, serve flowers in the temple. Okay, so you become beautiful next life. Okay, not this life, next life. So good speech, reduce anger, then you become beautiful. My sister was telling me it's true, the temple, the people, you look at them like to serve flowers, usually very beautiful one. And they have been serving flowers in their past life. Okay, so ultimate cessation, being mediocre and ordinary is not bad. Which is actually very true. When you are very beautiful, that's why the Chinese saying, hong ngan to pok mang. Why they say like that? Because a lot of beautiful girls end up sob story one. Because of their beauty, they start to attract unnecessary attentions. Okay? And then they also become very dispersed, with not focused in whatever they do because of the distraction. Even you look at our children. I go to University Malaya, okay? And all of them are cream of the cream in their brains, right? But I cannot see Lang Lui one. Really, no. If one very famous already because nobody. It's just serious. Man, I was there 4 years. No Lang Lui. Lang Zai okay lah, but no Lang Zai also. The Lang Zai also, because they don't dress up. Because no Lang Lui to show ma. So they don't dress up. So actually, really, those who are very mediocre, they tend to have more time to focus. They are not distracted by men. And then also very poor thing, when the men come after them because of their beauty, don't forget, you become 28, you become 38, you become 48, you become 68. And girls at the age of 18 and 28 is a constant in life. Constant. All the time you see 18 years old girl, 28 years old girl. But don't forget, inside your view, your husband like beautiful things. So you scared not. Because your husband come after you because you're beautiful ma. So your husband like beautiful things. So that time, starting 28, you have to build the character already. Character is the only thing cannot be replaced. Beauty, very easy out there. So many young people out there. How to plastic surgery also, you cannot go back like them one. Correct or not? So that's why character building is very important. Eventually lah. So all these are ultimate cessation. Okay. Next, another two more is incapable and inefficient and imperfect. When we are like that, the world says improve, practice and push, be aggressive, be fierce. So that's why we are very, very stressed out. Apparent cessation, learn mindfulness, learn concentration, meditate, then you will get to be very focused so that you become capable, efficient, and perfect. Ultimate cessation. It's okay to be incapable, inefficient, and imperfect. Yesterday, I just read small research on this perfectionism. In fact, perfectionism is one of the very, very high criteria for cancer patient. The more perfect you want to be, the higher the chances are you get sickness, serious sicknesses. So that's why all these are killed. Let's say if you really want your children to be happy, really teach them this one. It's okay, man.
If I this from young, I would not want to teach them this.
Because the concept so hard, But if they don't accept this, people who cannot admit mistake, who cannot accept that they are not perfect, who cannot face up when they fail, they are the most unhappy people.
No, we have to push, but we must know when to let go.
Okay. Don't use the word push.
If they already tried their best and fail, then you have to console them. You already tried your best. It's okay.
That one okay lah.
You cannot say from the beginning, it's okay. You fail, never mind. Go for holiday, enjoy your life.
Okay, come back to the middle way. Sometimes it's because it's very dynamic. You look at the nature of the child. If the child very lazy one, okay, you push a bit But if the child already very, hardworking, fail, please fail. I ask them to fail. Like my nieces, that's why when they score very high, they don't come to me one. They don't show me one because I always ask them, you can fail, So they don't want to show it to me because I tell them it's not important to have, very good result. Not important. As long as you try your best. That's why later we come to middle way. We were talking what the Buddha said. Okay? So next. Lonely, no relationship, no family, no children. The world said, go get married, have children. Apparent cessation, learn to harmonize, learn to share, sacrifice, and accommodate. These are good, not to say bad, right? Because they are apparent cessation. You cannot do ultimate, at least you do apparent first. But the ultimate, the Buddha said, having a family and relationship are only the games of the samsara. And then break the concept of being lonely, being alone is terrible. So it's very okay. In fact, if you're a happy old man or happy old lady, so many of your nephew, nieces want to stay with you. Because having an adult at home actually is very happy one. If that adult is a happy adult, right? So that's why having a relationship actually basically they are games of samsara. Okay? When you look at the 32 realms of existence, under desire realm, that means from hell until human being, plus another 6 more realm of the Deva realm, they are all the desire realm. This desire realm only got boy and girl. Have boy and girl to have children, right? So we have to have physical touch, right? Above, slightly higher, the heaven, very funny one, no? They hold hand, they got baby already one. Very fast one. The higher, they see each other, just the eye contact, got baby already. So when you out of the desire realm, you go to the form realm. The form realm, they only exist one sex only. They don't have boy and girl one. They only exist in body, But it's true, when you come to sick kaya, under this form realm, no boy and girl, only one sex. That's why you ask the Pusa or the Guan Yin Nyang lady or what. Actually, it's a redundant question. All the bodhisattvas, no more sex already. They are just one being. Okay? All these 5 bad karma arising, then you will start to ask, from here, poverty, being poor, never mind. From here, low status, never mind. Beauty, mediocre, never mind. Being incapable, being inefficient and imperfect, never mind. Then being lonely, never mind. Then the next question, a lot of people show us on. Then no need to do anything. No need. Like what you're saying, I will never teach like that, because you think you're falling into the empty emptiness already. Means what? No, means okay, let's say poor. No need to work lah. Be lazy lah. Since you say poor, never mind ma. People will tend to start ask like that. Low status low lah. Become doormat lah. Let people step okay. Not beautiful. That means don't have to dress up lor. Ugly lah. And then incapable. Don't have to be responsible lor. Do whatever I like lor. And then I give up lah. You know, these are actually the extreme. And then I'm lonely also. You think you are lonely, so how? No need family, Then how? Got family, I go and have few other wives lah. No need to think about family relationship lah. Not important already what you say. Lonely, next time they don't want me also, never mind lah. So people will fall into this kind of the emptiness. That's why this is duality, right? So when you break concept, you tend to fall into emptiness. Okay, this one is your middle way is here. And this is the not empty. Right? So these are the 5 pursuits human people chase. Right? Then suddenly you heard the Dharma, you say, you, like that lah, so empty lah. I don't have to do anything lah. Okay? But this is not what the Buddha said. The Buddha said, usually the moment you drop into empty, you have to come back. Okay? You have to come back. But dropping into emptiness, then we ask ourselves, why do we drop into this empty? Why do we drop? Here I ask you not to pursue Why suddenly you so scared, think of all the so negative side of things? That's why you say, I will never do this, I will never. Because you already fallen into this emptiness, because we still have the 2 holes inside. Insecurity and inferiority complex. The moment you are insecure, and when you hear breaking concept, usually you will be scared out the hell of you, because an insecure person likes to hold. You know, you're scared, so you want to hold on to something. The moment you hold on to something, but the moment we say break concept, you will tend to avoid and run away. Because you don't know how to not hold. So you run away. Okay? Then on the other hand, a person who is inferior, who likes to exaggerate, because inferior, so I like to exaggerate. Alright? So I tend to fall into suppression and concealment. Insecure, alright, you like to hold on to something. Now I tell you, don't hold. Don't hold. Great concept, don't hold. Then you will start to don't know how to handle, you will run away. That's why you fall into the emptiness. Another one, inferior people, they like to exaggerate. You know, indulge in something or maybe do anything, they try to exaggerate and promote. The moment you tell them, not to, suddenly they don't know how to handle, they start to suppress and conceal. Right? So these 2 states of mind is actually emptiness. It's definitely not surprising. Because we still have these 2 holes inside us. When we have these 2 holes inside us, and this breaking concept being introduced to us, we cannot accept one. We cannot accept, and that's why immediately we fall into avoidance, fall into suppression. This one the Buddha already saw. He said, sure, you enter into empty one because of your insecurity and inferior complex. That's why the Buddha said, no, this is a sure thing to happen. Be aware of it. But the real final ultimate, the Buddha said, mo wai yi yao wai. That means this one is mo wai. Mo wai means you are not doing anything already here. This is not empty, is one extreme. Another extreme is this one, emptiness. So the Buddha said, you have to come back to the middle way. 不二法門, 不二法門. 不二 means non-duality, non-duality, right? So this one is very, very important phenomena. This one is one of the highest Dharma door under the entire Buddhism. Finally, what the Buddha said is actually this one. I'm talking about Bodhisattva's path. Bodhisattva's path, right? So in Vimalakirti Sutta, the Buddha said, 不住無為, do not dwell in non-doing. 修學空，不以空為寂. Practice emptiness, but do not take emptiness as the final destination. He asks you, do not dwell in this non-doing, okay? But you practice this one, but this is not your final destination. 修學無相無作，不以無相無作為靜. Practice non-perception and non-action, but do not take non-perception and non-action as the final destination. That means that when we break our concept, we have no more perception, we usually fall into non-action, but the Buddha said, do not take non-perception and non-action as the final destination. Then next, 修學無喜，不以無喜為靜. Practice non-arising, but do not take non-arising as the final destination. Non-arising, that means you create a lot of things. Okay, you create because of your concept. You go and fight, you go and grab, you go and chase, you go and compete. All these are the arising. Okay, and finally, 觀諸法虛妄，無勞不入，無主無相. Observe all phenomena as a illusory from all perspectives, and there is no observer, master, or the eye, and there's no perceptions. Meaning what? The Buddha said, ask us to observe all the phenomena. All that you see are all unreal. From all perspectives, means what? Mo lo pa yap. All these unreal things is at every corner of your eyes. Every aspect, all of them are not real one. Hui mong. Okay? They are unreal. They are illusions. Okay? And there is no observer, no master, and no eye. There is even when you observe, you must make sure the person who is observing you is also unreal. There is no observer, no master. Okay? And all the perception you perceive from observing, this perception also unreal, and even the observer himself is also unreal. Okay? So that's why the Buddha said, you do not dwell into things which you thought. This one, once you enter into empty, okay, you are actually these two part. Alright? You always think things very real. That's why you go into this. Either you are not empty, doing a lot, or you suddenly fall into emptiness because of our two holes inside. And why do we have the two holes inside? Because we thought a lot of things are real. So they are all connected. Okay? They are all connected. So because of that, then observe everything is illusory from all perspectives. They are unreal. 而不虛福德禪定智慧. But continue to pursue meritorious deeds, virtual conduct, samadhi, tranquility, and wisdom. These three, I need to explain to you what is it. He said, do not dwell into all this part as your final destination. Must understand the whole thing is actually illusionary, but you have to continue to pursue phúc tak, meritorious deeds. Tak is the virtuous conduct. Sim thing is samadhi or tranquility and wisdom. Okay? That means you can make everything illusionary, everything except these three. Okay, what is the reason? Because we are already in the samsara. If you hold everything, what do? Be like a stone. Cannot be, isn't it? We are already in the dream. We are already in this samsara. So the Buddha said, don't have to do anything except these three only. Because you are already here. So I tell you, what is this phúc tak? Alright, this is what the Buddha said. Don't pursue the 5 pursuits and don't fall into emptiness. Remember to do these 3 in the middle way. Number 1, in your life, you think of your life, when you work, when you stay at home, you think of all these things match into your life. You still do the good deeds and the virtual conduct. This one is the Phúc Tắc. What is this Phúc? Phúc, the first one I'm talking about, good deeds. Good deeds, you still practice things like generosity. The Buddha said, you're already here in the samsara, so be generous. Be happy, be generous. Do dana, service, charitable work, social work, community work. Do. No problem. All this you go and do. Help the poor and the weak. And be civic-minded. Civic-minded, like you care for others, you care for your community, you care for your garden, you care for the public toilets, You don't simply know civic-minded. Then you try to reduce ill will or fear or worries among the rest. Okay? Sometimes your friend feel very down, so you pat the shoulder, don't worry, things like that, give encouragement, motivational. So all these are the good deeds. Okay, why do we need good deeds? Because for us to have these deeds, so that next time you can listen to the Dharma. Your Dharma is your food. If you are very poor, I ask you to listen to the true Dharma, will you be able to? People out there still making a living one. You ask them to come to temple, I'm not free Because to them, Dharma is food. So the Buddha said, you cultivate your good deeds so that you have abundance, then you can have the means to come and listen to the Dharma. Okay, that's why the Buddha said, Pat Hoya, Phúc Tắc. Okay, this is the Phúc. Number 2, the Tak. Actually, it's still under number 1. Tak is what? Tak is the conduct. The conduct you're doing, right? Remain and promote qualities of your character, okay? Like, for example, honesty. Like, for example, when we do business, you don't sell expired things Not supposed to sell, you still sell for money. Right? Because of your virtuous conduct, this 5 pursuit is secondary, Okay? The conduct is very important first. Okay? So these are some of the ones that I observe Like, for example, as a hawker, when you cook your food, so you put all the expired things all the substandard things so they're very cheap then you make more money. You won't do things like that anymore. Because important is my conduct, is my virtues, is my quality. Like, for example, cheating in all dealings. You cheat in your whatever you sell to others hiding some facts, don't tell people, so you won't. Righteous is like you're careful with what we earn. Because earning money is secondary. It's actually the quality again. Like, for example, this is a real life situation. I'm an accountant. Starting from 2014, a type of new businesses called LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. Means last time was like Sdn Bhd, sole proprietorship. Now there's a new one called LLP. In this LLP, you don't have to be audited. You don't have to do audit. You don't have secretarial, right? And you save a lot of money in doing business. And it still serves better. Still serves like Sdn Bhd. You are still protected with all your assets, right? So why we want Sdn Bhd? Because we want to have limited liability But this partnership is also limited liability, and yet you don't have to be audited and have a secretarial. So you save a lot of money here, at least 5,000-6,000 a year, right? So when this thing came out, so I was very happy to inform some of my clients, because this one is really, this one is really ngam for those that are very good for those family-owned businesses, right? During the National Tax Conference, I managed to talk to 4 accountants. I say, with this coming up, are you going to tell your clients? 3 of them say no. 1 say, I think about it. Like that this one got righteousness or not? This one, when I tell my client, I will lose the client. Right? But if I don't tell, I maintain the client. If you practice this, you don't think of yourself, you think of others first, you will tell. I tell my client, whether or not they want to remain as my client, it's really up to them, right? But at least I tell. But if they want to choose to go, then no choice. But this is righteous, ma. That's why the Buddha said, you don't forego your virtuous conduct. Your 5 pursuit is not important anymore. Another example, I have friends, they are in direct selling. When you buy certain product, let's say you buy 1,000, you will get 30% discount. By the time they hit 980, so they will call the client. Will you call your client? Hey, another 20 ringgit, you will get a 30% discount compared to now you got 20% only. You will sure call your client to buy that 20 ringgit, right? So you will call. This one is very natural. But by calling it, when they get the 30%, it will eat into your commission. Will you call? Eat into my commission, no. That means if they get 30%, I will get less already. If they did get 20%, I am better. I get more commission. So now, that is a decision you have to make. Okay? You want to pursue this one? You won't tell. Because I want more commission. I tell you already, then how? I lose, You see, you get me not? So the 5 pursuit is very strong in a lot of human now. We all are. That's why the Buddha said, ask us to go to middle way. You know what is the real purpose of this empty thing that the Buddha preached, to break the concept? It's actually to break our stubborn attachment only. Here you're very stubborn. So now I ask you to enter to break our stubborn attachment. Then you come back here. Before I can break this stubborn, you cannot be middle way one. You see, I cannot ask you to go to middle way so easily unless you understand the empty side of things. Okay? So a lot like, for example, selfish. You go to Giant, they sell all the cheap things for the poor people during Hari Raya. They throw out a lot of like longan, whatever. Wow, you see all the rich people rushing there to buy one. No more the righteousness. Another one is like, you want to step out because you want promotion, you want the money, you tend to hide facts, talk things which actually not genuine, really because of money rather than your good qualities. If you practice this, your virtuous conduct, you tend to become very brave. Whatever you need to shoulder, you will shoulder. You do wrong, you mistake, you own it up. You don't try to push it to other people already because promotion, money, all these bonuses is not your ultimate. Your ultimate is your conduct. Money is definitely secondary. I got many more examples. Plus another one is I find a lot of people now like to speculate your properties. It means you buy and sell. Speculate properties and investment are two different things. Invest, that means you buy to invest. That one is really fine because the money is getting smaller. So you buy property to invest, okay. But you don't buy and sell and make the prices all go up. Because that one is really for money's sake. And then you cause a lot of detrimental consequences to people who wants to buy. Yeah, they want to buy a house to get married, also cannot afford. Because all the big money are earned by all the speculators. This one you won't do really. Okay, so because of conduct and the qualities that you think of, right? And then the next one, samadhi and tranquility. So samadhi and tranquility in our life is like illegal things you don't do. Because illegal things they are usually, it won't give you a lot of tranquil feelings one. Because you don't know when is the day they will come after us. Right? And things like money game. Money game also you won't do. Because I have a friend who actually made a lot of money in Geneva Gold. She very smart. She left early. But after that, she confessed. She said she didn't feel good. Why? After that, she saw the newspaper. All the people die, commit suicide. That type of money she's making from. She felt very bad. So you don't have tranquil and settled mind. So all the illegal things don't go in already. Because inside there, not only you're afraid of being caught by the authorities, you are also very scared of what, inside you tend to have this kind of thing that happen. And share market also, you don't dabble so much. It's not that no good. You can do share market, but when the share market give you a lot of turmoil, you're very scared, you're very worried, then you have no more tranquility. So because you are very repositioning and you understand the Dharma, you throw away that trade already because it doesn't give you peace of mind. Under tranquility, we carry out our life in a step-by-step manner. This is what the Buddha said, the middle way. Right? And finally, wisdom. In the middle way, we practice wisdom. This one very big area. So how do we use wisdom applying into our life? We practice fairness. We use lateral thinking and middle way to be as fair as we can, even as a boss, as a mother, as a father, as an employee, as a superior. Like for example, in middle way, under wisdom, you can think of the pricing that we price our goods, the margin. So you have to be smart to discriminate your price for rich people, poor people, so to be able to be fair to everybody, right? Even like salary, pay salary, you cannot pay too high, you spoil the market and competitors will hate us. And you cannot pay too low and all your employees will go away. So you have to exercise all this wisdom. These are actually okay things to do in life, right? Like economy no good that time. You sell things cheaper but with more quantity. Why? So that you can benefit everybody, right? I sell cheaper because economy no good ma. But the moment I sell cheaper, I sell more, isn't it? So my quantity will give me more profit. But with this, everybody benefit. You know, like I always like the people who sell chap fan one. You know the hawkers mix rice? I find they're very noble because the chap fan really help a lot of people who are actually not rich. You know, at least they still get good food, right? And like also another thing, wisdom you can exercise in our life. For example, saving. Wise people living their life, they always think of saving money, right? Because fa mo pak yan hong means the flower never red all the time one. So sometimes there are also rainy days. So we have to have some savings because it's only wise to do that. So that the money can buy us. Money must buy us only three things. Security, dignity, and freedom. Security, at least you feel secure, you got money. Dignity, at least you don't have to ask all the time. And then freedom of your mind and your physical. Money buy these three things. Don't allow money to buy another three things, which is material, status, your position, your status, and also your power. If money buy power against others, or buy status, position, or buy materials, then we become the slave of money, right? So that's why you must know all these. These are wisdom of life, okay? Like for example, in life, sometimes we fight with others out of ego. You know, ego fight only. So you realize all these are pride struggle or ego struggle. So you start to see wisdom, you let go, you reposition. And then also, we also know certain things in life like karma. All these are wisdom lah. That people work harder will get more. I work less, I get less. I cannot be jealous of others. People already got that kind of parami. You cannot be jealous of them because why they're like that? What we are today, we deserve 100%. So all this we must know. Apply in our life. Okay? And the best part is everybody should do well in life. The wisest people are the people who live a simple and independent life. Very simple life. Abundance I can enjoy, but I don't yearn for it. If you have, can. But if I don't have, I'm fine. So simplicity and frugal, being frugal is very important if we are wise. Okay? And then finally, these are the three things the Buddha asked us not to forego. Three criterion of middle way that are the qualities of an awakened being. Okay? So, means what? We don't pursue all the 5 pursuits like putting all the money, wealth, position as our first criteria. But we don't empty the whole thing, not doing anything. Then we have to come back to middle way. Like for example, just now this gentleman was saying your son. Yeah, pursue your marks, alright? But that one is only a direction. But important is your character building. Be responsible. Do your best. Be hardworking on this. Because you're pursuing good qualities, right? I'm not asking you not to get good marks. The marks and the money and whatever, these 5 pursuits is actually a direction only. Like money is the direction. I do my work, sure people pay me. Of course I take. That's all But that one is not my ultimate reason why I'm doing this piece of job. Like that This is what the Buddha wants us to do. The money is something, a direction only. But at the end of the day, the measurement of the money will determine whether we are successful or not. To a certain extent, it's true, right? But it doesn't mean that got money only you are successful. The money come back, that means you are doing your job well. You look at people what kind of people you like to work with, who are very hardworking, honest, diligent, So you like this type of people, very responsible. That's why people start to give you a lot of job because of your good qualities. Like that right? So money in a way is a yardstick, right? But it's not to measure your position, your social status. Okay? So when you apply these 3 criterion of middle way, what kind of people you become? Talking about wealth. Okay? We don't become stubborn on the profit, on the money, and we don't become a beggar as well. Right? So what we do is that we lead a simple life having a lot of savings. Okay? So this is the middle way for money. Number 2, status, position in life. We don't need to demand a lot of respect or a lot of branding a lot of material. No need, right? But we also don't say, I no need to respect me people treat me as doormat step me I also don't know how to react Not like that. But here, middle way, the Buddha said, earn the respect and well liked by the people around us. No need to be very high profile, high flyers, very famous, a lot like in the Facebook. No need. And then no need to be like, wow, people treat you nobody, like that also no need. But middle, be middle, whereby people like to work with you. When people talk about you, they say, hey, he's a good person. Okay? Middle Earn the respect. Don't force for the respect. And then number 3, your looks and your beauty. So no need to be very beautiful plastic surgery slimming stay young no need. Okay, but not dirty untidy don't care give up case not like that. But in between, tidy, clean, pleasant. That one is good already. What middle way for looks, mediocre, but pleasant Okay, enough, right? So number 4, ability. No need to be the very capable, very successful in terms of efficiency, in terms of perfectionism. No need. And not to say being very irresponsible, and then don't care, give up, not like that. The Buddha said, discipline and be hardworking, right? Accept all our mistakes and failure, fine. Okay, so this one is the middle way for people who actually too much of stress to show ourselves very capable. We have to let go. Let go how people see us, judge us first. And then in between here, we just stay disciplined and hardworking. And then accept if we are mistake, never mind. Alright, failure. And then how we pick up ourselves up, that's all. Because again, the quality is very important. Right? And finally, family. Very lonely or a lot of people around us. The Buddha said, this one, the worldly samsaric game, you want to play, you play. But make sure you are not too hard-headed and too stubborn on this one. And then here, empty means you run away. Okay? If somebody you met, really you like one, you get married lah. No need to run away. That means one karma creditor come back look for you one. So never mind, take. That's how we learn, okay, from there. So no need to run away. Embrace whatever that comes. Be it a lot of people around you or be it alone, you have to embrace. Okay, many also can, alone also can. This one, this is the middle way. This part is very interesting when we come to karma creditors. Okay? So you see, at the end of the day, when we practice middle way, onto this 5, we suddenly realize we are very, very common. Very common, very happy, and then stressless. No stress. If you can maintain like that, that means we are practicing middle way already. Okay? So this is what the Buddha said. If you want to live your life in the middle way. Okay? Next one, the middle way. Not empty is here. That means chase whatever we want. That's why we are suffering. That's why we are entering into depression, a lot of stress. Here, we enter into empty. But the Buddha said, don't take emptiness as your final destination. Come back to the middle way. Okay? When you have a lot of understanding on emptiness, you can actually move from here to here. You don't have to come here first. You can actually move from here to here. And this middle way thing, a lot of things you can apply. For example, even middle way, you can use it to see the people around you. Not only the world pursuits, about the people around us, like my husband. When normal people, I look at my husband, is my husband, right? So with a lot of attachment and expectation inside. Now, I emptied it first. He is only a 5 aggregates, right? 4 elements and 5 aggregates. This is only a man coming in. He's also another sentient being, right? Because of this, I detach and I have less expectation on him, right? So, but you still have to live life, right? Live life. This one already a husband. You cannot introduce him as a 5 aggregate. You still introduce him as my husband, right? So what you do is that you say, this is husband. This is husband. So actually, the emptiness here is to break your stubbornness on this husband concept, You break it, then after that, middle way is, he's a husband, You get me, Is the husband, no more expectation and attachment already. Oh, okay. The next one is like, work very hard to pursue 5 samsaric achievements. This one, you very stubborn, You want this one. Then now, you break it. Break it. Don't work. Don't give up. That one also wrong. Okay, the Buddha asks us to go back, work within the 3 criterion, and then the 5 samsaric pursuits are no longer the goals of life. You don't pursue this one, but you pursue another 3, the 3 criterion. Your good deeds, your good virtue, and then your samadhi, and finally your wisdom. And finally, this is what we actually trying to achieve. We are now putujanas. Putujanas means human being. So that's why we are not empty, chasing after all the 5 samsaric things, high expectation on the husband. This is putujanas. When you enter into emptiness, empty, you become arahat, monastery. You go into monastery, you empty everything. You run away, you suppress also, never mind. Because inside monastery, you are given a full-time job to do that. Okay? But we are not, you see. So inside, as an arahat, you really don't work, you really give up all the samsaric things. Okay, this is called emptiness. But because we are all lay people, it's not easy to become a monk. So what we do is that we become a bodhisattva. So the bodhisattva is actually here, the middle way. Husband is the husband. I work within my 3 criterion. The 5 samsaric pursuits not important anymore. Okay? It's only a direction, that's all. Okay? And finally, this emptiness, we don't enter into emptiness. Why? Because this emptiness is the sole purpose is to break our stubborn attachment from this not empty. That's all. That's all what the Buddha actually want to use emptiness to remind all of us. Okay? Last lesson we learned, don't pursue the 5 samsaric pursuits, or the wealth, status, looks, ability, family. Then the next thing a lot of people show us, that means no need to do anything. They say no. You enter into this emptiness, is to actually to break the stubborn attachment only. After that, we still got to go back to the middle way. And the middle way, the most important are the 3 criteria. Okay? And then that's it. You live a life like that, right? So from there, then you become a true bodhisattva, right? You still break all your concepts. Remember the earlier lessons? We still break the concepts, but because we are already inside samsara, we still have to live life. When you live life, what kind of life you live, then the Buddha suggests the middle way. Okay? So I think that's about all. Any questions?